What's up, everybody? This is Brian from GameSense. Unfortunately, not a good episode. Sony has shut down Bluepoint Games, specifically known for one of their bigger titles when they did the PS5 Demon Souls remake. I remember when leaked info came out about this game, even months after it came out. This game actually could have came out on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro from leaked information that people found from Bluepoint. It was Sony's decision not to release it on PS4 and PS4 Pro, even though it was going to run fine. I mean, God of War, God of War Ragnarok, the Resident Evil 4s and 7s and 8s, they all run fine on PS4 and PS5. This one wasn't going to be any different. The PS5 version ran great. They were going to have the PS4 version run great as well. I don't know if it was going to have the same graphics. It might have toned down a little bit, but clearly this generation has proven if you compress the PS5 and put it on the PS4, the graphical capabilities greatly rise for the PS4. And I would have loved to seen the PS4 version or the Pro version of Demon Souls, but this there's only what five? We're year 5 in PlayStation 5, and there's what 5 true next gen looking games. Dead Space remake, which is on the screen. No, Demon Souls remake, which is on the screen. Dead Space remake, Callisto Protocol, which came out before the Dead Space remake, because it was kind of based off the kind of loosely based off of the Dead Space remake. Uh, Returnal, which is also another Sony exclusive, and what's another game that has mind blowing graphics that are like, oh, that's true next gen? And I'm trying to think of, and that might be it. That might be it for all the true next gen looking graphics because we've seen God of War Ragnarok on PS4. We've seen Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4. We've seen The Witcher 3 on PS4. We've seen Ghost of Tsushima on PS4. That game looks phenomenal. So, in terms of true next gen looking graphics, in shadows, in lighting, and using HDR, using every bit of like pushing the console and effects on screen and enemies on screen. I think those 4 games that I mentioned, Demon Souls remake. I'm trying to think, is there another game? Because really, I think it's just the Demon Souls remake, the Dead Space remake, Returnal, and Callisto Protocol. I think those are the only games that are like truly next gen only games that truly look, oh, hey, that's truly a next gen looking game. So many games that are PS4, PS5, you can clearly see that the PS4 can handle it. And I think it would have been cool just to see if they would have got a chance to release it, but Sony was the one that said no. I'm disappointed in this because I have looking at my screen. I have 94 hours in the Demon Souls remake on my main account. I haven't yet played it on my second account because if I platinum a game and I enjoy it on my main account, I'll then go and platinum it again on my second account. Um, Man, and the sad part is, like, when you start looking at these games, they're not bad games at all. They're actually really good. Like Demon Souls PS5, Shadow of the Colossus PS4, Uncharted the Nathan Drake Collection PS4. And here's the crazy part. I have this. I have this. I have this. Gravity Rush PS4. Flower PS4. I have that. Titanfall 360. I was really excited for that game. I hated that it took to Titanfall 2 to come out to the PS4, but then it kind of got watered down. But I've really wanted the original Titanfall on like PS3. It was supposed to be exclusive for like 6 months, maybe a year, and then come to PS3, and then it never happened. And I hated that. Otherwise, I would own that. PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. I know people who have it. I don't have a Vita, so I don't own it. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection PS3. I own that. Ico Shadow of the Colossus Collection PS3. I'm pretty sure I own that. God of War Collection PS3. I know I own that. And Blast Factor PS3. I don't think I own that one. I own so many of their games. And then you go to their Wikipedia page, like, and it says the stuff that they worked on, like Metroid Prime, Blast Factor, the God of War remaster, uh, for the God of War collection. The ports were handled by Bluepoint back in November of 2009. The Shadow of Colossus and Ico collection. PlayStation 4 Shadow of the Colossus. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD for the HD Metal Gear Solid collection. Then you got PlayStation All Stars, Titanfall, Nathan Drake collection, Gravity Rush remasters like Demon Souls. And the crazy thing is, right? Remasters and remakes are highly profitable because a lot of times you're just putting them in a new engine, making sure everything works correctly, trying to keep the same look and feel, but updating it, um, trying to make it feel the same but look better. So they're typically highly profitable, low cost, and there's a niche for them. There's that group of people like that want to play these games. Then they supported the PlayStation All Stars, Flower, Titanfall. They supported on Ragnarok. I didn't know they supported on Ragnarok. And the real bad part about this is none of their employees were given a heads up. None of their employees were retained. None of their employers were like, hey, we're going to bring you over to this other Sony studio. None of that happened. They just got let go. And it's sad because this studio made them money. And they were working on the God of War live service game before that got canceled. And then they were rumored to be the first ones who started to make the God of One remake. And then I think they were supposed to go to two. And now that we see Sony Santa Monica is officially doing a God of War trilogy remake. Which I thought Bluepoint was going to do. I thought after the live service game, I thought Bluepoint was going to be on that. Um, I thought maybe Bluepoint, considering they did a great job on the Demon Souls remake, would get a Bloodborne remake. Like, people have been begging and begging for a Bloodborne remake. I mean, the game finally gets a sequel and it's Not even an official sequel, and then it's not even for PlayStation. It's on like Switch 2. I don't even remember the name of it just because I'm like, y'all finally made a Bloodborne type sequel, and it's not even on PlayStation. They must have paid y'all a hell of a lot of money. And it's sad because I feel bad for the employees. It was a dumb decision by Sony. Like, I get it. Sony Santa Monica, they still have access to their previous engines. And really, if they want to make a God of War 1, 2, and 3 trilogy remake, all they have to do is go into the God of War 3 engine, update the engine, maybe update controls if they want to. I don't even really think they have to. Then just go in, maybe spruce up and fix some things, maybe touch up some things, make it run at a higher frame rate, a higher resolution. But other than that, and maybe make the graphics look a tiny bit better, and then put 1 and 2 in that new 3, in that new God of War 3 engine. Because if 1 and 2 looks like God of War 3, yeah, God of 3 will be the least big step up, but that's because 3 was a massive leap. Like God of War 1 looked okay. God of War, but for a PS2 game, it looked great. And then God of War 2 looked even better, which is crazy because it was on a PS2 game. We weren't really talking about good graphics on PS2. We were talking about, oh, hey, this game looks good, not great. Those games actually look great. And then the cutscenes looked amazing. God of War 3 on PS3 looked amazing. Matter of fact, I think you even have the PS4 version of that game. Like, that game holds up to this day. Like, if they put 1 and 2 in the 3 engine, 1 and 2 in a upgraded 3 engine, man, that thing's gonna look phenomenal. And I kind of should have put 2 and 2 together, considering Sony Santa Monica just said they're doing the trilogy remake, and it's been greenlit, it's already started, and that I thought Bluepoint was working on that, but apparently Bluepoint's working. They're helping work on like 2 other games or something, and it's like, nah, they just canceled them too. From what I've been hearing from other YouTubers, it's like, damn, man. Like, even if they let Sony Santa Monica do the God of War remake for the trilogy, let them do Bloodborne. Let them do a Dark Souls 1 remake in that Demon Souls engine. Because that thing is fire. And now we're not going to get it. Now, over 100 employees lost their job. No jobs lined up. No promotions, no demotions, just let go. Not switch to a different company to where you might make a little more, you might make a little less. Just fired. Even though you made Sony money. And this is one of my favorite Sony studios. Because it's the one that, oh hey, if you love an old game, I mean, come on. It did the Nathan Drake collection. It did the Metal Gear Solid collection. It did Demon Souls. Those are bread and butter staples of Sony. It did Shadow of the Colossus. It did God of War. You don't get any bigger than that. That's Sony's lifeline. That's how Sony became really famous in the PS2 and PS3 era. Like, the PS1 era games, they're pretty much all gone. Yeah, we're starting to see remake and remasters of them. but we're not seeing new games. Those games pretty much died in like the PS2 era. They might have made a poor port or something in the PS3 era, but we haven't seen anything since then. But this company was bringing older games to newer gen consoles with updated controls, newer visuals, and then after what they did with the remake of Demon's Souls, like, and it sold well. It sold like 1.4 million in like its first year. I forget what the sales are off the top of my head, what they are now. I know it's over like 1.5 million. I think it's like 1.7. That's not bad for a remake, considering basically all they had to do was create the engine. They didn't have to think of a story. They didn't have to think of level design. They literally just had to copy the world, put it into the new engine, and then figure out, hey, once we put it into the engine, then we can upgrade it. Or get your artist to look at what's there, upgrade it, and then put it in your engine. You didn't have to think of things. You didn't have to, because what people don't understand is, some do, thinking of things from scratch is some of the hardest things you can do. You have to think about character design and customization. You have to think about armor design. You have to think about dialogue and actors. You have to think about world design. You have to think about enemy placement. They didn't have to do none of that. They literally just had to put what they saw of the PS3 version into the PS5 engine and then upgrade it and to make it look prettier and to add more smoke effects and add better elemental effects. So basically 90% or 80% of the work was done for them. They just needed the engine that could handle it and then put it into a new engine. So they didn't need as in depth of an art team and a drawing team and actors and writers. All that stuff was already done. They literally just needed the engine, an artist to put it in there, and then your gameplay guys and testers to make sure everything ran smoothly. You cut out so much of the middleman and so much extra fluff by doing remakes and remasters. And the fact that these guys have touched God of War, Uncharted, Shadow of Colossus, and Metal Gear Solid, and you and Demon Souls, basically bringing you to that PS4, PS3 era. And these are the ones let go? Damn. It would have been one thing if they put them into like another studio. But this is one of those moments where you're like, what the hell, Sony? What the hell? Anyway, this is Brian at Game Sense. Not a great, very positive episode, I'm afraid. Damn. Y'all please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me a lot. I've actually gained a few subscribers this week. I was up to 9, then thinking started getting rid of bots and stuff, and then I went down to 8. But I still gained a few subscribers this week. Been gaining viewerships more consistently, stuff like that. So I appreciate all y'all viewing. So thank y'all guys. Y'all have a good night.